Hello student, myself Nimesh Prabhakar. Welcome to Antenna and Propagation lecture series. In my previous lecture, I discussed about the Yagi-Uda antenna. In that lecture, we have studied about how we can design the Yagi-Uda antenna, construction of the Yagi-Uda antenna, working of the Yagi-Uda antenna. Now, in this lecture, we discuss about the phase array. So first we discuss about what is the phase array. Then in this we discuss about the frequency scanning array, retro array, then adaptive array. Then we discuss about the rhombic antenna. Then in that antenna we discuss about the construction of the rhombic antenna. Then we discuss about the radiation pattern of the rhombic antenna. Then we discuss about the design of rhombic antenna. Then we discuss about the advantages and disadvantages of the rhombic antenna. And last we calculate one example of the rhombic antenna. So now we start with the phase array. So first one question come in our mind, what is phase array? So the array in which phase and amplitude of most of the element is variable. That means provide that the direction of maximum radiation and pattern shape among with the side loop is controlled is called the phase array. So we can design our desired radiation pattern by using this phase array concept. That means we can control the side loop and also we can place the major loop in our desired direction by using this phase array concept. Suppose now we consider the array given the maximum radiation in the direction of phi is equals to phi 0, where 0 less than or equals to phi 0 less than or equal to 180 degree. Then the phase shift that must be controlled can be observed as psi is equals to kd cos phi plus alpha is equals to 0. Now from this equation we can write the alpha is equals to minus kd cos phi. The maximum radiation can be achieved in any direction if the progressive phase difference between the element is controlled. That means when we control the progressive phase shift, then we can achieve the maximum radiation in our desired direction. So this is the concept is used in the phase array antenna. Now we consider the three element array. So here in this figure we consider the three element array. The element of array considered as a lambda by 2 dipole. So this element is we consider as a lambda by 2 dipole antenna. Now here the mechanical switch is installed at each antenna and one at a common feed point. So here we can see this is the 1, 2 and 3 is the mechanical switch. For the mechanical switch the position 1 and 2, for the antenna 2 position 1 and 2 and position 3 the antenna 1. And here at the receiver side we have we have placed the switch. Now to make the operation reliable and simple, the mechanical switch is replaced by pin diode, that is PIN diode, which act as an electronic switch. We know that the pin diode is also act as a switch. The phase array of the specialized function utility are recognized by different name. So that name are the frequency scanning array, we can also call as a retro array and adaptive array. Now we discuss about the first one is the frequency scanning array. The array in which the phase change is controlled by varying the frequency is called frequency scanning array. This is found to be the simplest phase array, as at each element separate phase control is not necessary. Now second one type, the retro array. The array which automatically reflect an incoming signal back to the source is called retro array. It acts as a retro reflector similarly to the passive square corner reflector. And last one is the adaptive array. an array which automatically turns the maximum beam in the desired direction while turn the null in undesired direction is called adaptive array. That means from this type of array or this type of antenna, we can place our maximum radiation or the measure loop in our desired direction and also null in undesired direction. So this is the adaptive array. In the modern adaptive array, the output of each element in the array is simple, digitalized, and then processed using the computer. Such arrays are commonly called smart antenna. So in the smart antenna, this adaptive array concept is used. Now we discuss about the second one type of antenna is the rhombic antenna. In the rhombic antenna, four-leg wire are connected together in such a way to form a diamond or rhombus shaped structure in the horizontal plane above the ground. So in this antenna, here we have used the four long wire antenna to construct a structure like a diamond, or also its structure is like this, the rhombus in the horizontal plane above the ground. The rhombic antenna is called traveling wave rhombic antenna, as it is based on the principle of the traveling wave antenna. So that's why we can also know this antenna as a traveling wave antenna. It is also known as a diamond antenna due to the similar structure formed by a log wire antenna. So rhombic antenna is known as the traveling wave antenna. It's also known as the diamond antenna. And each side of the rhombus by the wire is called leg of the rhombic antenna. Now we discuss about the construction of the rhombic antenna. How we can construct the rhombic antenna? So here, this is the figure of the rhombic antenna. We can see. Consider a rhombic antenna of the four leg, 1, 2, 3, 4. We can see each of the length L, and installed horizontally over the ground or earth at a height h as shown in this figure. In case of transmitting antenna, now we know that there is a two cases. One is we can consider this rhombic antenna we can use in the transmitting, and we can also use this antenna in the receiving side. Now we consider in the case of transmitting antenna, one end of the antenna is fed to the balanced transmission line as feeder, while the other end of the antenna is terminated into the non-inductive resistor. So here we can see the one end, that means in the left hand side is the end is fed with the transmission line, and this is the second one end is we have terminated. Now the value is adjusted such that the traveling wave are set in all the four legs of antenna with no reflection. Now we discuss about the radiation pattern of the rhombic antenna. So the radiation pattern of the rhombic antenna is just like a directional antenna radiation pattern. Here we can see this is the unidirectional radiation pattern of the rhombic antenna. When the four legs are terminated in the resistor equal to the characteristic impedance, it gives non-redundant condition, thus the leg provide unidirectional distribution. Thus, with the proper design of the rhombic antenna, it provides a maximum radiation along the axis of the antenna with the polarization of the wave in the plane of the rhombus formed by the four leg. Now we discuss about the designing of the rhombic antenna. The important factor in the designing of the rhombic antenna are tilt angle, then second one is the length of the leg, and third one is the height above the ground. There are two main approaches of the rhombic antenna design. First one approach is the element design. That means in this approach of the design, is used when the maximum of the main beam and the angle of the elevation coincide with each other. And second one concept is the approach is the maximum electric field intensity design. That means this approach of the design is used when the height h above the ground is selected such that at the desired angle of the elevation, the maximum electric field intensity is obtained. So this is the two approaches for the designing of the rhombic antenna. Practically, there are different conditions on the designing parameter. The three main conditions are, the first one condition is the alignment is made by increasing length of the length L if the height is less than desired direction. Second one is the alignment is made by changing tilt angle, or we can also say phi, if the height h is maintained at the desired value but the length is reduced. And third one is the alignment can be made by changing tilt angle phi if the both height and length of the leg are reduced. The expression for the relative field intensity is the E is equals to 2 cos phi sine 2 pi h by lambda sine beta sine pi by pi L by lambda 1 minus cos beta sine phi whole square upon 1 minus cos beta sine beta. And here this phi is indicate the tilt angle, and it's nothing but a 90 minus beta we can write. Where the beta is indicate the angle of elevation, and h is indicate the height above ground plane, and L is indicate the length of the leg in terms of the lambda. So we define the length in the lambda, and the lambda is we know that this is the wavelength. The optimum condition of the L, H and the phi are represented by E is equals to 2 cos phi sine 2 pi h dash sine beta sine pi L dash 1 minus cos beta sine phi square upon 1 minus cos beta sine alpha. Hence, we can write the condition for the h1 dot L and phi as E is equals to k sine 2 pi h dash into sine beta, where here this k is indicated as the value as a k is equals to 2 cos phi sine pi L dash 1 minus cos beta sine phi square 1 minus cos beta sine phi, and h dash is nothing but the h by lambda, and L dash is nothing but the L by lambda. Further, equation number 3 can be modified as, we can modify equation number 3 as E is equals to k dash sine pi L dash 1 minus cos beta sine alpha square, where this k dash is represent the 2 cos phi sine 2 pi h dash sine beta square 1 minus cos beta sine phi. Now the maximum relative field intensity design. So to get the condition for the maximum relative field intensity, using the maximum theorem, we can write that means the differentiate expression for the E with respect to h dash and L dash, then equate it to the 0. That means the condition for this del E by del H dash, where the L dash is equal to constant, we have differentiate. So now we differentiate the equation, we have the E d by dh dash k sine 2h dash sine beta is equals to 0. So when we differentiate this equation, we can write the k sine is, we know that is the cos 2 pi h dash sine beta, and 2 pi is equal to 0. But we know that 2 pi and k constant, and the condition is cos 2 pi h dash sine beta is equals to 0. So we can write 2 pi h dash sine beta is equals to 0. That means on the right hand side we can write the cos inverse 0. And we know that the cos inverse 0 is nothing but the n pi by 2. Where the n is indicate the n 1, 2, 3 up to small n. Hence, for the n equals to 1, we can write h dash is equals to 1 upon 4 sine beta. but h dash is nothing but we know that the h by lambda, and we get h equals to lambda upon 4 sine beta in the meter. Now for L dash, for the L dash we can calculate by differentiating E with respect to L dash. Now here we consider that h dash is constant, so we have this equation E, and now we differentiate with respect to h dash. So we get the value k dash 2 sine pi L dash 1 minus cos beta sine phi cos pi L dash 1 minus cos beta sine phi is equals to 0. So when we simplify this equation, we can write k dash sine 2 pi L dash 1 minus cos beta sine phi is equals to 0. And we know that this concept is we have used sine 2 theta is equals to 2 sine theta cos theta. Hence we can write the condition for the maximum E as pi L dash 1 minus cos beta sine phi is equals to, in the right hand side we have taken sine inverse 0, and we know that the sine inverse 0 is nothing but the n pi by 2. So for the n is equals to 1, we can get the L dash equals to 1 upon 2 1 minus cos beta sine phi. But we know that the L dash is nothing but the L by lambda. So we can write the L is equals to lambda upon 2 1 minus cos beta sine phi, and the unit is meter. Now we consider the phi is equals to 90 minus beta. So we can write the sine phi is equals to sine 90 minus beta is nothing but the cos beta. So we get the L is equals to pi upon 2 1 minus cos beta cos beta. So it's nothing but the 1 minus cos beta. So we can write the lambda upon 2 sine square beta. So L is equals to lambda upon 2 sine square beta. We get this equation. Now we discuss about the alignment design. The main loop radiation is aligned with the required angle of the elevation beta. The formula for alignment design are given by H is equals to lambda upon 4 sine beta. For L is equals to 0.37 lambda upon sine square beta. And phi we know that there is nothing but the 90 minus beta. Now we discuss about the advantages of this antenna. So the first one advantage is the input impedance and the radiation pattern do not vary rapidly. So this is the main advantage of this antenna. Now the second one antenna is due to the high efficiency, it is highly used for the radio communication. Third one advantage, it is most suitable for the application where the space for the installation of the antenna is not critical. Fourth one is it can be used for the short wave application with very low height. Next one advantage is its input impedance is twice as that of the single side radiator. And last one advantage is the construction of the rhombic antenna is simple and it is easy to erect at the low cost. Now we discuss some disadvantage of this antenna. So first one disadvantage is it requires a very space for installation. Second one is it produces a number of side loop along with the highly directive major loop. Third one is it disappears half of the output power in the terminating impedance, hence the transmission efficiency is poor. Now we calculate one example of the rhombic antenna. A rhombic antenna in the horizontal plane is to radiate at 20 degree in the vertical plane. The operating frequency is given 15 MHz and we have to find tilt angle, leg length and height above ground plane. So we have given the frequency is a 15 MHz and the beta tilt is given the 20 degree. So first we calculate the tilt angle. So we know that the phi is equals to 90 minus beta. So we get the phi is equals to 70 degree. Now we calculate the leg length, and for that the equation first we have to calculate the value of the lambda. So we know that the lambda is nothing but the c by f, and value of the c is a 3 into 10 raised to 8, and the frequency value we have given the 15 megahertz, so 15 into 10 raised to 6. So we get the lambda is equals to 20 meter. So now we have the equation for the leg length L is equals to lambda upon 2 sine square beta. So we have the lambda is equals to 20 and the beta is a 20 degree. So we get the leg length L is equals to 42.743 meter. And last we have to calculate the height of the antenna. And the H is equals to, we know that, we just consider the H instead of the L. H is equals to lambda upon 4 sine beta. So when we put the value of the lambda and beta, we get the H is equals to 14.619 meter. So in this lecture, we discuss about the phase array. In this, we discuss about the frequency scanning array, retro array, and adaptive array. Then we discuss about the rhombic antenna. So in the rhombic antenna, we discuss about the construction of rhombic antenna, radiation pattern of the rhombic antenna, design of rhombic antenna, advantage and disadvantage of rhombic antenna, and last we calculate one example based on the rhombic antenna. Thank you.